Hi students. So last video we discussed about the coordination in animals. So today we are going to discuss about the coordination in plants. And we discussed already about the coordination in animals, the central nervous system, the brain and spinal cord last year in detail. So here comes the question. So plants, they don't have either the nervous system nor the muscles. So how do the coordination in plants takes place? So here in plants, the control and coordination is being done by the chemical substances called phytohormones or plant hormones. Okay, here the control and coordination in the case of plants is being done by chemical substances called phytohormones or plant hormones. And what is their function? So they mainly helps to stimulate or in the growth of root, shoot, then promote stomatal movement, then promote flowering, ripening. So all these activities, movement, these being activities is being guided by the plant hormones or the phytohormones. And there are five main types of plant hormones or phytohormones, and they are auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, abscisic acid and ethylene. These are very important and they do have their own functions in the plant body, and it's a very important question in the examination point of view. And first we will discuss about the auxins, and they function as helps in cell division, cell elongation and growth. Okay, then gibberellins helps in growth of stem and branches. Cytokinins helps in cell division, formation of fruits and seeds. Here the question can be asked. So which plant hormone helps in the formation of fruits and seeds? The answer is yes, cytokinins. So abscisic acid, the next one, inhibits growth and affects wilting of leaves. Inhibits growth and affects wilting of leaves. Ethylene helps in flowering and ripening of fruits. Ethylene helps in flowering and ripening of fruits. So these plant hormones are very important and their function you need to keep in your mind, and the control and coordination is done in the case of plants by a chemical substances called plant hormones or phyto. Phyto means plant phytohormones. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Next, we need to know the movement in plants. Movement in plants is of two main types, and they are tropic movement and nastic movement. Tropic movement and nastic movement, and both we need to know in detail. Okay, first we will discuss about tropic movement. So tropic movements are directional movement. Directional movement towards or away from the stimulus. That means it is against a direction. While we are explaining with examples, it will be easy for you to understand. So it's depends upon the direction that you keep in your mind. Okay, then it all depends upon the growth. Also depends upon the growth and direction. Okay, and they are also of different types like phototropism, geotropism, chemotropism, hydrotropism. Actually, these terms only you will feel a little bit difficult when we discuss. It will be very easy for you, and with the example we'll be discussing one by one. So first we will take the phototropism. So photo means, you know, photosynthesis. Photo means light. Yes. So here also phototropism means the movement. Here light, then tropism is the movement. So what is happening? This is the movement of plants in response to light. Movement of plants in response to light. So you imagine a plant, a potted plant being kept near a window, and through the window the sunlight is being coming. If it is kept inside a room, okay, the sunlight is coming, you can see that obviously the plant shoot part or the above part will be moving towards the light. Have you seen that? And it is being given in your textbook also, the picture. So that only, that plant is moving towards, it's moving, directional movement, it is moving towards the light, right? So that only is known as phototropism. So if it is towards the light, it is called positive phototropism. If the plant is moving towards the light, then it is called phototropism. That is bending of shoot towards light. If it is away from the light, if imagine that the root part of the same plant, if it will be moving away opposite direction of the light, then it can be called as negative phototropism. It can be called as negative phototropism, bending of root away from light. Now it's clear? It's very easy to understand. So phototropism based on the movement of plants in response to light. So next one is geotropism. Geotropism, geo, ground, gravity. Okay, is a movement of a plant in response to gravity. Here again we will take the same examples, or a plant planted on the ground. So you know that the roots will be definitely moving towards the ground. Yes, inside. So that can be called as what? A positive geotropism. According to response of gravity, it is the roots are moving down. So it is positive geotropism. And the above part, definitely it will be growing upwards, right? So the above part, that can be called as what? Negative geotropism. Is it clear? Okay, positive geotropism means geotropism is the movement of plants in response to gravity. Okay, so gravity means ground. So the root parts, you know, it will be moving towards the ground, inside to the soil, into the soil. So that can be called as positive geotropism. And the upper part, definitely it will be growing upwards, right? So it can be called as what? Negative geotropism. Okay, so here you can see positive downward growth of roots and negative upward growth of shoots. Next, you can see the chemotropism. The third one, chemotropism, is the movement of plant in response to chemical stimuli. Here you have to imagine, and you already studied in your lower classes about the flower and how the pollination is being taking place. Yes, do you remember? The male part of the flower, you know, that is the stamen, and the female part, you know, that is the pistil. Okay, so the stamen, from the stamen, the male part, the pollen grains will come and fall on the female part, that is the pistil, and pistil consists of three main parts. What are they? Do you remember? Anybody? It is stigma, style, and ovary. Inside ovary, ovules are there. Okay, so these pollen grains will come and by the pollination, it will come and fall. Pollinators, with the help of pollinators, it may come and fall on the stigma, and from that, through the style, it should go and it should reach where? Through the ovary, right? So after falling these pollen grains on the stigma, they develop and they produce, they develop what? Pollen tube. They develop pollen tube, and through that tube only the pollen grains will be reaching to the ovule or the ovary. Yes, so the pollen tube formation is actually an example of chemotropism. So the movement of plant in response to chemical stimuli. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. So the growth of pollen tube towards the ovule is an example of chemotropism. And next is the hydrotropism. Hydro, you know, hydro means what? Water. Yes, so hydrotropism is a movement of plant in response to water. For example, if seeds are there, you know, the seeds, wherever the moisture content is there, towards that only the growth will be taking place. So hydrotropism, the movement of plants in response to water. And a root also, the root will be going in search of water, right? So hydrotropism, hydro means water. Okay, so this is about the tropic movement, and here you can see some of the pictures. Phototropism, here you can see the shoot parts of the plant moving towards the light. Positive phototropism. And here you can see geotropism. The root can be considered as the positive geotropism, and the above part can be, which is growing upward, can be mentioned as what? Negative geotropism. And here you can see the chemotropism, which I explained to you. That is this is the female part. A magnified picture is being shown here. This is a female part, that is the pistil. Here this is the stigma region. This is the style, and this is the ovary or the ovule inside. And here you can see pollen grains. After reaching here, pollen tube develops, and through this way it reaches inside the ovary for fertilization. So this detailed process you will study in your higher classes. So here you can see the pollen tube formation. After the pollen grains, after reaching on the stigma, the pollen tube formation will take place, and it's an example of what? Chemotropism. This due to chemical stimuli. Okay. And next is the nastic movement. And tropic movement, we discussed about the direction. Yes, a particular direction. It with the example, I hope it is clear. Right? Particular direction towards the ground, towards the light, towards the water. It's a directional movement, and always depends upon the growth. Right, related to growth. Growth of roots towards the ground, growth of shoots towards the light. So all those things were related to growth of pollen tube, related to growth. But nastic movement is just opposite. It's non-directional movement. Here there is no direction. It's not based on any direction or growth. It is non-directional movement which are neither towards or away from the stimulus, and it does not depends upon growth. Just opposite of tropic. In the tropic movement, they are directional, and they also depends upon the growth. Here it is non-directional and does not depends upon the growth. Okay, and the example is touch me not. Touch me not, or the mimosa plant, So mimosa plant, if we touch the leaves of the touch me not plant, its leaves folds and droops, and down immediately due to the change in the amount of water in the leaves. So depending upon the amount of water in the leaves, it swells, it shrinks. So this is one example of nastic movement, and also some other examples like a picture plant. You might have studied in your 7th standard, like picture plant, an example of insectivorous plant. So insects, when it comes and sit on the plant, it will be closing its lid. Yes, so that is also an example of a nastic movement. Then Venus flytrap, it's also an example. Then tulip plants, that it will be blooming. That means the flowers will bloom according to the during daytime. Yes, according to the sunlight. And also our sunflower, which the sunflower and the tulip is actually not based on, it is based on the light. Okay, so it's also a nastic movement. But touch me not and all, actually when we touch, or the picture plant and all, when it's mainly because of contact. Okay, when picture plant, the insects come and sit there, it will be closing its lid. Yes, it's mainly because of contact. Here touch me not case also, it's because of contact. And in tulip as well as in the sunflower, it is mainly because of light. Sunflower, the sun, according to the sunlight, the position of the flowers is going on changes. Yes, so these are some of the examples of what? Nastic movement. I hope these two topics are clear to you. The coordination in plants. Coordination in plants is being done by a chemical substance called plant hormones or phytohormones. And here the movement in plants is of two types: tropic movement and nastic movement. I hope these topics are clear to you. Remaining will be discussed in the next class. Thank you.